Nebraska's starting lineup. The table setter at the top, Brody McIntyre. He has had a great American Legion World Series, Woody. 2 for 6, 2 RBIs, and 4 for 6 on the base paths, 4 steals.
Yeah, and they're looking, you got Braden Erickson back there that's hitting 400 in this series. They're needing Kalai Larson. They're needing Delay Odulate to get on base to get some things going.
Odulate hitless in the 3-hole this tournament for Nebraska. On the mound, they will face Cole Jacobus of New Jersey. He is making his first appearance of the 2026 American Legion World Series.
Well, Phil, he's going to Stockton University. During the regional, he was 1-0 in the regional. During the season, he was 6-0 with only 12 walks in 32 innings. So he's looking to give them a big start here.
The defense behind Jacobus looks like this. For New Jersey in left, Aiden Walsh. Chris Kozak in center. Jack Portman is in right. Carter Nielsen at third. Reed Bazidlo at short. Jack Markovich at second. Kellen Comline was yesterday's hero. He plays first base. And Owen Schilling does the catching for White House, New Jersey, post 284.
This is going to be a fun one. Both teams like to run, bunt, steal, do all kinds of different things. And I think we saw some things yesterday with this New Jersey team that kind of surprised me because Coach Farcio, we sat and talked for a long time, and he drew up a bunch of things on paper. And when you can draw it up on paper and then make it happen on the field, wow.
On a steamy hot day in Shelby, North Carolina. Temperatures today, Woody, it feels as hot as any day here at the World Series. They're at 92 degrees, so in that summer sun, feels like we'll be in the 104, 105 range. About 40 miles west of Charlotte. Town founded in 1843 and the home of the American Legion World Series every year since 2011.
We'll get into that as we go further in the day, but what a great job Shelby does hosting this American Legion World Series, and as you said, since 2011 it has been the home of the series.
Legion was sort of looking for a home. A bunch of different places hosted the World Series over the years. Shelby actually had a crack at it in 2008 before they've hosted the World Series consistently every year since 11. And as far as I know, it will continue coming to Shelby moving forward.
Yeah, it'll just be a different look next year. We'll have some turf out here, Phil, next year.
We've talked about that a little bit this week. Game number 10 out of 15 here at the World Series. Day number 4 out of 6. Brody McIntyre steps in. Jacobus deals. And the pitch just misses away. We are underway. Home plate umpire Jim Clayton. Tony Strada at first. Matt Ceramelli at second. And Drew Meadows is at third. Foul ground right side. And it's out of play. McIntyre's 4 stolen bases are the most at this World Series. So if he gets on, expect him to be on the move. He's attempted 6 already.
Well, we saw him last night, and he knows because Coach Lonick had a conversation with him after it happened. He made a base running blunder in that game, getting thrown out with 2 outs, trying to steal third late in the game.
2-1 the count here on McIntyre. Fouled off once more. Nebraska lost to Tupelo, Mississippi yesterday 7-4, but it was a game they trailed 6-0 before a weather delay. Scored 3 runs in the late innings. A lot of fight.
Yeah, a lot of fight, but the score was a lot closer than the game really seemed.
That was the sense that head coach Michael Lonick gave us this morning. Good battle in the first at-bat of the game. Brody McIntyre, one of the many returners. The top 6 in the lineup all returned from last year's team that reached the American Legion World Series. Ground ball right side and through for a base hit. The table setter for Nebraska has his 3rd hit of the World Series.
Well, we know they're going to battle with 2 strikes, and he kept battling, and finally just put the ball in place somewhere and made something happen.
Now Kalai Larson. He's 1 for 6 here in Shelby with an RBI and a walk. Starting shortstop for Lincoln, Nebraska, who enters today 52-7 on the season. Joe's bunt pulls back, and it gets away from the catcher, Schilling. This one could be a pass ball. Either way, runner to second base.
Yeah, I think that's one he wish he had back. I don't know how he would have got crossed up if he got crossed up, but it looked like he was late getting there.
And he does go out to the mound to talk to Cole Jacobus.
And Phil, one thing to talk about with this New Jersey team, you know, we saw it yesterday. They'll do a lot of different things on defense. When, you know, bunt situations, they'll have guys moving here, there, everywhere, and it's fun to watch.
Officially a wild pitch on the advancement. Bunt down. It's up the third base line. It's played by Nielsen, and he has no play. Infield hit.
Well, I got blocked by the pole out on the field, but to me, I thought if he'd let it go, there's a great possibility of this thing rolling foul if he'd just let it go just a little bit more. Let's see right here.
Even if it doesn't, I think at that point you just let it go and take the chance.
Well, it was going. I think it was going to go foul.
Delay Odulate, the batter. Runners at the corners.
Well, everything we talked about, the guys got to get on in front of Delay Odulate and Erickson. Tough
to imagine they'll bunt Odulate and take the bat out of his hands here. He is 0 for 4 at this World Series. He does have 2 walks and 2 RBIs. He's batting in the 3-hole for them for a reason.
He is. He really had a rough regional too, Phil. He went 1 for 17 in the regional. So he's not been swinging it really good, but he's a very good athlete and can break out of that at any time.
A commitment to Division I, Nebraska, Omaha. 2-0. Up high. Just in a little bit of a funk lately, Odulate, who stands just 5'10", but if you stand next to him, he is built. And his head coach says he looks like a college running back.
And he can run.
He does show bunt on the 3-0 and earns a walk. Well, the first 3 have reached here for Nebraska.
Catcher, Braden Erickson, number 2.
And a meeting coming.
Well, he's going to go out and try to slow things down just a little bit, and let's see if they got somebody going down into the bullpen to start warming up. And there goes 2 guys to the bullpen.
Steve Farcio, the head coach, 19 years coaching American Legion at 2 different posts in the same general area. Central New Jersey, White House, New Jersey.
And what a great guy. Lawyer. I enjoyed my conversation with him. I think I could talk to him all day long.
Well, you know, us New York and New Jersey guys, we get going, and next thing you know, you're late for the next phone call.
Well, y'all gel pretty good with these Alabama guys, you know. So.
Steve, a lawyer for 26 years, though, owns his own firm, handles mainly employment litigation. He's actually running for the local school board in November. How about that?
I didn't know that one.
Yeah. Braden Erickson, the batter. Up high.
Well, if you could draw this up for Nebraska before the game started, this is exactly what they want here in the top of the first inning. Their best hitter up. Yeah.
He's having a good World Series, too. He's batting .400, 2 for 5.
And he was on the tournament team last year here at this World Series.
Outside.
And he's only going to be a junior in high school also.
Yep, last year he had just finished his freshman year of high school. He was the starter for this Nebraska team, made the all-tournament team at about the youngest age you can be to compete in American Legion baseball. Bright, bright future for Braden Erickson.
You know, we've seen some young players here. Eli McDaniel's there for Tupelo, Mississippi. You look at California's rosters made up of a lot of 15 and 16-year-old kids.
2-1 the count on Erickson. Bases juiced. Nobody out. First inning. Right side, soft ground ball. Tough play for Markovich. He can't make it and a run scores. Markovich had a long way to go.
You got to believe that's going to go as a hit. When is he E4? And that's a. I take it back. I think he had plenty of time to get in front of it and make that play.
If he makes the play, he probably has Erickson easily.
Yeah. But then he slipped on the outfield grass. He got into the outfield grass a little bit where it's a little damp.
Trevor Roach, the batter now. Ground ball, left side. This could be two. To the plate for one. Relay to first. In time. 5-2-3 goes the double play, and there's two gone.
Well, pitcher's best friend right there. Now all he's got to do is get one out. And if he can get out of this with just giving up one run, man, that'll be big. Perfect.
Kate Anderson, the designated hitter. Oh, and 1. Anderson was the starting pitcher yesterday who took the loss, 2 2/3 innings, allowed 4 earned runs. That double play may have changed the complexion of this entire inning. 2 outs, 2 in scoring position for Anderson.
It'll tell you a lot about Anderson. He's the second ranked player in Nebraska by PBR in his class of 28. I'd like to know where Erickson's rated in that.
Another guy going into his junior year.
And we got to remember, all these guys are off of the same high school baseball team, same high school.
A high school where head coach Michael Lanick is a teacher and coaches the team. It is a one high school post, so these guys play a ton of baseball together. There is a continuity and a relationship among the players that is very unique, even in Legion ball. Popped up on the infield. Markovich, the second baseman, has it. And so after the bases load with nobody out, Nebraska manages just 1 run. And to the bottom of the first inning we go. New Jersey coming to bat. White House, New Jersey back in the camouflage uniforms today. I guess if it ain't broke, Woody, don't fix it. But it is a team that needs to find a little offense. Batting just 159 as a team at this American Legion World Series.
It is, but those two guys there at the top of the order, both are hitting .333 here at their series, and there needs somebody below them to start to step up.
First team to wear the camos twice at this American Legion World Series after that 3-2 victory yesterday, a thriller over California. They will face on the mound for Nebraska Fisher Irons, who is making his second appearance this year here in Shelby.
Yeah, and he's another one of these 28 kids, 2028 grads we're talking about, low 80s fastball. He's already pitched, like you said, Phil, 2 innings here at this World Series and was 1-0 in the regional to help get Nebraska here to this series.
37 pitches in game number 1, so he can turn around here on Sunday and pitch again. Defense behind him. In left is Easton Lund. DeLeo Delate in center. Trevor Roach in right. Makovica, Larson, McIntyre, Cat on the infield. And Braden Erickson does the catching for Fisher Irons. The lone change in the lineup from Lincoln, Nebraska is Lund, who's playing out in left. He bats in the 9 hole today. Pitch to Reed Bazidlo, misses inside. So Bazidlo, too, has been a nice table setter for White House, New Jersey, even in the midst of the offensive struggles. He's 2 for 6, an RBI, a walk, and 3 stolen bases.
How about his high school, last 2 years of high school, 58-5, 2 state championships.
It's not bad. Line drive center field, base hit. Well, he's also playing for a New Jersey team that, since Steve Farcio took over at this post in 2018, is 6-11-89, including the 2 games at this World Series.
Wow. Well, they're a lot like Nebraska, and what we talked about, the bunt, the run, the seal. They'll delay steal, they'll slash bunt.
While showing bunt. Well, you got to find ways to win when you're coming out of a tough region, and right in your area is your big rival, Brooklawn, New Jersey, who has as much American Legion success nationally as anybody. Haven't seen him at the World Series in a couple of years now, but Brooklawn, one of the all-time powerhouses.
I think 21 was the last year they were here, and actually this New Jersey team took them down to get here. And they had to beat them in the state. I think it was 15-0 or 15-2 final in the finals of the state to be able to go to the regional.
Walsh 0 for 4 at the World Series, looking for his first hit. Right now showing bunt. Pulls back and it's a strike. Brooklawn, New Jersey, by the way, they have been to the American Legion World Series 17 times. 23 was the last appearance.
23, okay.
Two and one, the count on Aiden Walsh. It's 3-1. Called strike 3-2. And I wouldn't put it past Steve Farcio in New Jersey to keep the bunt on, even with a 3-2 count.
Yeah, do a slash or something, but I can bet you the runner on first will probably be in motion here.
Makovica at third is still aware for it. He is at the edge of the grass.
And that's a different look. Trevor Roach, we've seen Trevor Roach there most of this week. Over at third base, he's in right field.
Runner is off. It's ball 4. Single by Bezidlo, now a hard-earned walk by Walsh, and the first two are on for New Jersey here in a win-or-go-home game, final day of pool play.
Well, now there's no telling what they'll do here. Even this being the number 3 hitter, they'll bunt, slide, they'll still do anything.
Owen Schilling 0 for 5 at this World Series. 2 and 3 are combined 0 for 9. Want to know the count on Schilling. Most teams here, bunt is not on with the number 3 hole hitter. For Steve Farcio,
all 9 guys.
All 9 guys, yep. You know what else is unique, though? As this pitch gets away from Erickson, throws to third. Not in time. And Michael Lanick will come out and talk to his pitcher. Very quickly popped out of the dugout.
And that right there is just not focused. I don't know what that went as. It goes a pass ball. I think that was very catchable there. But
it is a pass ball.
Yeah, but the runner on first didn't read it well and ended up staying on first base.
So runners at the corners, 2-0 count.
I don't know if it's a better situation for them when you got runners on first and third. You make a lot more things happen.
So it's very interesting to me, though, Woody. A lot of teams, if they're going to bunt, they'll show bunt early in the count, and then if it doesn't work, they'll pull it after a strike, or especially 2 strikes on the batter. New Jersey doesn't operate that way. We now have a 2-1 count on Schilling. Wouldn't shock me if all of a sudden he shows bunt for the first time at 2-1.
I agree. Drop down a safety squeeze or something like that.
Just a lot of what they do is unorthodox in a way. But hey, they're here with a chance to reach the Final Four of the American Legion season. That's a close play at first. They got him. Walsh is picked off.
Well, that's a big first out there for Nebraska. As bad as Fisher Irons was struggling a little bit and gets picked off. Leaning. Got caught leaning.
Three and one now on Schilling. Bases would have been loaded.
I'm sure we'll have a courtesy runner here.
Schilling comes off. And in to run goes Dylan Vernick. Brand new rule this year in American Legion Baseball.
Yeah, you can run for the pitcher or the catcher. You just can't run the same runner, run for them in the same inning. If the pitcher comes up or catcher runs up, comes up to run.
And it has to be a player off the bench who is not in the game currently. Attempted pick off to third.
You know, you've seen a lot of organizations over the years do this, and the last batted out is the one running. But I like that. Somebody's off the bench. And you don't have to run for them either.
Interesting you say that, because Owen Schilling is actually one of New Jersey's better athletes who they usually wouldn't use a courtesy runner for. But because they've had some other injuries, some other players not here for various reasons, in the case of New Jersey, it's pretty much almost all injuries.
Yeah.
Schilling has to catch every inning of this World Series for them, which is not how Steve Farcio typically likes to operate. He likes to get his catchers a couple of days of rest here and there. So just as ways to get him off his feet and not overexert himself, he has to use a courtesy runner for a really good base runner.
And
Delayed steal by Vernick. He takes second.
And you got to look how the delayed steal is used. You usually have a left-handed hitter up, and the catcher cannot see the runner at first. And you'll see here he waits, throwing it back to the pitcher late, gone.
That works better because it's a lefty in the box.
Can't see the runner. Can't see the runner at first, and if the first baseman don't communicate well, then it's an easy stolen base. You can still do it with a righty, but, you know, it's easier for the catcher to see everything going on. And that's why you want your left-handed hitter to just stay in the box and not move.
Fouled off. So you work on that with your team. You're teaching the left-handed hitter.
Yes,
don't back out of the box.
Don't back out of the box. Do not move. And Steve Farcio, he works on it. He said all the time. They work on all these things.
2-2 the count on Jack Portman. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Nasty breaking ball. Two gone. And the first strikeout today for Fisher Irons.
Well, if Fisher Irons can get out of this, not giving up a run after the way this started, it's going to be big for Nebraska.
That gets away from Erickson. And another run will come down. First of the game for New Jersey. So we had bases loaded in the first inning and a run pushed across. In the top half, now bases with a lot of action and a run scores on what will likely be a wild pitch. It is a wild pitch here in the bottom half. You know, the little things in a elimination game, huh?
Yes, it is. And that was a tough one because he was going middle of the way and he went nearly actually hit the batter. Now we go back and look at how important that pickoff at first base was for Nebraska.
Oh, yeah. Foul ball. Oh, you've said it so many times this week. You say it every year you come back here. There's so much talent across the country. The margins are so slim between these teams. It's the team that does the little things right. Fastball and a strike three. Second K of the inning for Fisher Irons. And he survives the jam, only allowing one run. All tied at one. Through one in game one of our triple header. Whole lot happened in the first inning of what is just a 1-1 game. 7 total base runners combined between the two teams reached base, and 3 total were left on base.
Well, it's funny how the numbers are very similar. Jacobus 23 pitches, 11 strikes. Irons 24 pitches, 11 strikes. But both of them got out of some big jams, and man, what does that do for your confidence as a pitcher? Helps. I mean, it could be lights out from here on out.
1 run scored on an error. That was Lincoln, Nebraska in the top half of the inning. In the bottom half of the inning, New Jersey scores on a wild pitch. But for these pitchers working out of that, I'd imagine that builds up their confidence a little, lets them settle into the game. Especially in the case of Jacobus, who's making his first appearance on the mound this World Series.
Yeah, well, in 99, I think I gave up, or was 98, I gave up a run in the first inning in 30 starts.
Huh. Grounded foul by Huxton Cat.
And sometimes you got to treat the first inning like it's the last inning, because you can lose in the first very quickly.
You gave up a run in the first inning in 30 starts?
Yeah, something like that, between 25 and 30 starts. Because I got yelled at a lot for it.
What was your record that year?
I was 10 or 11 and 11 or 11 and 11, something like that.
Called strike 3 on Cat. And the first strikeout of the game for Jacobus, who after allowing the first 4 to reach, 3 on 2 hits and a walk, and then 1 reached on an error, but he's now retired the last 3 that he has seen. Easton Lunn is 2 for 5 at this World Series. 2 games played. He batted in the 8th hole yesterday, playing left field. The change in the lineup at the bottom for Nebraska is Sam Sutko. They want his speed coming off the bench. And so Sutko will start on the bench. We'll likely see him later to run bases. There's a strike. Trevor Roach was moved from third base to right field. And then in at third base now is Jackson Mike Ovica. So just to correct an earlier statement I made on all the changes there in the lineup for Nebraska. Trying to spark the team. You see that a lot for the third game of pool play, right? Where the lineups that they have that most teams use for game 1 or 2, all of a sudden you'll have a change or 2 that you think may help spark your team if you need to win this game. Lund works a walk.
Yeah. After you get a quick first out, and then last thing you want to do is walk the next hitter.
We saw those changes most notably last night with Jacksonville, who lost a heartbreaker, a great American Legion World Series game. Walk-off home run by Jason Topf of New Hampshire on the first pitch of the bottom of the 7th after Jacksonville scored 3 to tie it in the top of the inning. New Hampshire leaves with a win at this World Series. Chopper to short. They get the lead runner, and they turn 2. That ends the inning. That's the second double play turned defensively by New World Series, honoring our troops and everything they do to make it possible for us to be able to play these games, for you and I to sit up here and watch these games. And every year we get the parachuters, and they came last night on Saturday.
Yeah, that's what these kids coming in for this World Series, when they first get here for orientation, that is what they're taught. That's why we're here. And what allows us to be able to play the great game of baseball.
Kellen Comline is the batter. He was the hero last night. I guess yesterday afternoon. They had the first game of the day. Comline homered to right field. And that was the difference in the game. In the bottom of the 6th inning, they won it 3-2. And he grounds this right side. Flip over to the covering pitcher, Irons. 1 gone.
Now batting, third baseman, Carter Nielsen.
Here's Carter Nielsen. 0 for 6, does have an RBI at this World Series. Going to be tough for Jersey to win without the bats starting to find something. I know they dink and dunk and they bunt and play small ball, run the bases, but
What's the crazy number that you were telling me yesterday for New Hampshire left on base?
they average 15 left on base
A game.
a game.
Okay.
You know, I was thinking about this last night when I got back to the hotel. You realize that the most that you can leave on base in a 7-inning game is 21.
Wow.
So I started double checking myself, and there's no way. Maybe I had the number wrong.
That's why I kept one.
And no one said anything to me. I looked it up again. 427 was the number. Fouled off, stays 0-2 on Nielsen.
Put it this way, they play a lot of long games.
They have to. And I'd imagine they play high-scoring games, and also if there's high-scoring extra inning games. Just misses outside, 2-2.
It's a close one right there.
Good battle here by Nielsen. Against Fisher Irons, who pitched in the regional. Big part of how Nebraska got here. Ground ball to short, and it's booted by Larson. E6, and Nielsen is aboard.
Larson's had a rough World Series in the field, and he's usually an exceptional fielder.
Number 12.
Just like he's not timing it, not getting in front of the ball, not timing it the right way.
Chris Kozak. Yeah, Larson, a good player. Might be their best pitcher, says his head coach. Nebraska Omaha commitment. He was a starter last year as a sophomore, class of 2027 student athlete. So he has another year of high school in front of him. Will be starting his senior year of high school. In Nebraska, I imagine that's a week or two away.
Yeah.
Another toss over.
Tried to catch him leaning a little bit. Looked like he was thinking about going.
Kozak finished high school. He's off to college, moved into his dorm at Clemson the other day, came back, and now he's playing in the World Series. Runner is off, the throw is high, the leap, and then the tag. Carter Nielsen is safe. Stolen base.
Looked like Brody McIntyre was way in front of the bag and just really didn't give himself opportunity to be able to just get the tag down.
Yeah. Oh, 0-2 on Kozak. Called strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Fisher Irons.
Wow. Tough pitch.
Now Matty D'Alfonso.
Great name, Matty. Matty Ball Game. Mighty Ice.
I was thinking more about the D'Alfonso part, but
Boy, he would love to come up big here.
you know, Woody, these New Jersey guys, these are my people. They drink coffee and water, and they travel with 2 different types of hair gel. These are my people.
Well, he's doing this, you know, I don't know if he was going to swing or not, but slash, you know, showing real early. And just taking all the way.
2 balls and a strike on D'Alfonso. 9-hole hitter for White House, New Jersey, post 284. Strike 2-2. Seems like when Irons gets in the groove, he finds that fastball on the outside corner.
You got to believe he'll go right back to it right here.
New Jersey has struggled at the plate this tournament. You see the numbers even more so with runners on. Can D'Alfonso come through? 2-2, 2 outs. This is an elimination game on the final game of pool play. That's how it's worked out. Count full. McIntyre wasn't on the base at first. Then he sort of recovered and got there. Just low. Ball 4. 2 on.
A little low there.
Reed Bazidlo had a single, and he scored White House, New Jersey's lone run so far. Back in the first inning. Swing and a miss. Fouled off, it's 0-2. His head coach calls Bazidlo a freak athlete. He's off to play this upcoming year at Raritan Valley Community College in New Jersey. It earlier was his 3rd of the World Series.
Now look at this right here. See where the runner is, how close he is to the grass, toward the pitcher? And I'll explain here in a second after this pitch.
Fly to right, and Roach makes the play. Woody will come back to that. Scoreless second inning, and to the 3rd we go.
Steve Farcio, he does a great job. But when you're that close to the grass as a pitcher, you can have a bigger lead. It's an illusion to the pitcher. It makes it look like you're closer to the bag. You know, Ricky Henderson used to do this years ago. You know, he's one of the best base runners ever. And you would think he was closer to the bag, and that's why he always said that 3rd was the easiest one to steal.
So talk me through this, because a lot of coaches would teach you to lead back and take the shortstop out of it, so that you have a visual of the shortstop and a better angle rounding third.
But if you have
home.
a good base runner that's fast, it's an illusion, and it gives him an opportunity to get a better jump and be closer to third base. Because me as a pitcher, I'm looking at him, oh, he don't look like he's very far off. Now with 2 outs, yeah, you do move back a little bit, but you know, it's just according to who the runner is. But it's easier to get to third base as a fast runner when you're closer to the grass.
Interesting.
Yeah. And you know, me sitting up here in the booth, these guys like Steve Farcio, I enjoyed talking to. I'm going to keep talking to him. I'm going to learn something about baseball every day. North Dakota, Lucas Rustad that was here years ago. Heck, I still talk to him, message him. He taught me how they picked off guys at second base. So things that I use to this day from these coaches that I see here at this series.
Baseball 101. Thank you, Professor Woody. Everything they do, though, is so unique. We saw the defense yesterday. In the dirt to McIntyre, it's 3-2. They turned a 6-5-3 double play.
Never seen it happen in my life.
In which, on a bunt play, with a bunt defensive play with 2 runners on base, it was the shortstop charging in to cover the left side of the mound.
And what's crazy is he drew this up on paper for me the day before. And then after this game, he told me, he said, that's the first time it's ever worked for a double play. But 6-5-3 double play on a bunt, which is unheard of.
McIntyre turns and fouls it off.
And that's why you gotta kind of be, as a coach, you got to evolve a little bit, be open to new things. And, you know, if you're not learning something every day about this game of baseball, you don't need to be doing it.
So you know what Michael Lanick on the Nebraska side said? You know, we'd heard about these funky plays that New Jersey runs as the 3-2 pitch hits McIntyre. We'd heard about the funky plays that they run, and then to actually see it in action was another thing. And now, almost like a football team or a basketball team, they're trying to scheme and game plan. How are we going to defend? How are we going to attack? Where's the best to lay down the bunt against that defensive look?
You know, I think right here, there are, you know, they thought that McIntyre put his elbow out trying to get hit. But yeah, I think all these coaches here, you become friends and you learn things from each other. Let's look right here.
Shortstop, Larson, number 1.
That's an interesting case because the pitch would have been ball 4, but if he gets called for leaning in, strike,
yeah,
and he's out, strike 3. Kalai Larson singled, first time an infield single. Up high, it's 2-0. New Jersey has had some action in the bullpen on and off throughout this inning.
Miles Masoni,
who pitched in relief earlier in the series.
Did a good job.
Looks ready to go. Larson takes the strike. His batting gloves are your favorite color, Woody. Highlighter.
Yeah, you told me to wear a highlighter polo today, and I show up with it on, and you're in blue.
And if you weren't with us yesterday, you may have learned that Woody just recently learned how to properly use a highlighter. I'm not talking about some big piece of equipment. I'm talking about a pen. You're thinking right at home. A highlighter that you use to highlight words on a piece of paper.
No, everything I have is highlighted.
And then I duped him into wearing his highlighter shirt. If you've watched broadcasts in the past at the Legion World Series, we've worn on the air.
And I've got red on. I made sure I brought other shirts.
Highlighter does not look good on me, okay? Grounded foul. With Steve Woodard, I'm Phil Constantino. One of us pitched 7 years in the big leagues. Beat Roger Clemens in his MLB debut. The other one of us was cut from his high school baseball team in 9th grade. Can you guess which one?
But you have good hair.
Thank you. Three and two the count on Larson. He is battling. The next pitch will be number 50 for Cole Jacobus. 9 in the at-bat.
And I'm curious why. I'd love to know why Brody McIntyre, while Lonick is holding him, is 3-2 count. Usually you're going to run, especially this situation with a guy like Larson up.
Especially with McIntyre, who leads the tournament with 4 stolen bases. Jacobus just keeps pounding him in. And Larson just keeps pulling him foul.
This will be the 10th pitch.
Fly ball, left field. Walsh over. And he gives way to the center fielder, Kozak. 10-pitch battle is the first out of the inning.
That's like a hit when you can do that right there.
In steps Delay Odulate. Walked in his first at-bat. We spoke a little bit about the recent struggles that he's trying to find his way out of. Delay used to be partially a football player. Now he's fully focused on baseball. He moved from California in the 8th grade and joined this program. And he has his first base hit of this American Legion World Series.
And that could get him going right there. But I think Brody McIntyre right there made, I think Lonick was wanting Brody McIntyre to just go from first to third because he had the ball in front of him. He could see that very well.
We were so impressed with Odulate last year, and to see him get off the schneid here, that's a good sign for Nebraska. Erickson spins out of the way, and that clipped him. So another hit by pitch, and the bases are loaded.
And I think Steve Farcios wanted to, ask Mr. Jim Clayton about the elbow going out over the plate a little bit.
He spins out of the way, but doesn't it feel like that left elbow flares out just a little bit?
A couple of these are, questionable with. Let's see, the elbow, and the elbow goes out. I can see it going out a little bit, keeping it in.
I think it's hard to call that a strike and the batter leaning into the pitch when you do see him spin that much out of the way.
There's a lot to see as a home plate umpire, and to see that, really the only way to do it is by instant replay.
And that is not.
And I don't even know if you can. No, not here at this.
Not here at this tournament.
Yeah.
For privy to the umpires too. There is no official replay down on the field.
And I don't even know if you can challenge that in the big leagues.
Farcio comes out here, and Jacobus will stay in. Meeting with the entire infield, he stays in. Also, Woody, this is of note. Sam Sutko has come on as a courtesy runner for the catcher Erickson. Sutko, we were told, was being used off the bench today because they want him to be able to run the bases and use his speed in those spots. So McIntyre leads off of third, Odulate off second, and Erickson off of first. The 1-0 to Roach. Chop foul.
Well, last time this situation needed into a
5-2-3 double
play.
Had this exact same situation in the first inning. Bases loaded for Roach. At the time, there was nobody out. Here, 1 out. And remember, winner through to the semis on Monday. Loser done. Big spot in this ball game. 1-2.
Man, we've had a lot of runners on the bases.
Line drive right side. Diving stab by the second baseman, Markovich. Takes a hit away from Roach. And that's the second out of the inning.
Great play there by Markovich.
Cade Anderson, the batter. Anderson popped out to second base. He's 0 for 1. One and 0.
And if he gets out of this, Houdini.
After the strike, Schilling out to talk to Jacobus.
Maybe trying to change the signs. Not sure if somebody's trying to give signs in.
Yeah, you see, he's still giving them between the legs. Some of the teams use PitchCom here, some of them don't. Of all the teams not using PitchCom, I would expect it to be White House, New Jersey.
But you can use it from coach to catcher. You just can't. The pitcher can't have one on. So somebody can relay it to the catcher, and then he can give the sign.
I don't see him with an earpiece, though.
I'm not sure if now Erickson does.
Erickson definitely does.
Eric does. In college, we have like everybody on the team has a watch, and you can tell. I can punch in a number, and everybody knows everything going on.
You stand there with a remote in the dugout,
and it's just boom, boom, and everybody knows what pitch. You know, if there's a play or bump play or whatever.
Driven to center by Anderson. Kozak goes back. He has it. And Nebraska leaves the bases loaded. It's an important game. Probably the most important game of the three in our triple header today at the American Legion World Series. Standings in the Stripes division. Lincoln, Nebraska 1-1. White House, New Jersey 1-1. The winner on to the semifinals. The loser going home. Fairfield, California has already been eliminated, and Tupelo, Mississippi is moving on. Tupelo and Fairfield will play later today. That is the final game of the day at 7 p.m. All games today on ESPN Plus, the semis and the championship the next 2 days on ESPNU. No math to do today. Win, move on. Lose, go home.
Well, a little bit in the Oregon game.
Well, there will be on the other side in the Stars division. There will definitely be some math.
I just can't believe this is still a 1-1 game. We've had bases. It seems like there's been bases loaded every inning.
There has been base runners in every half inning so far. Two 2-0 the count on Aiden Walsh, who walked first time. More arms hustling out to the bullpen left field line for New Jersey. Ground ball to short. Larson scoops this one up and makes the play.
Now batting, pitcher Owen Schilling, number 6.
Owen Schilling also walked in his first at-bat as he digs in to face Fisher Irons. And a strike. Fouls it off. You know, we've been talking so much about the experience and what these guys do here at the American Legion World Series. Time with their teammates, chance to bond with their coaches, with the host families. The 0-2 on the ground toward third, and that gets through the legs of Makovica. And just one base on what should be an E5. And a courtesy runner coming on. This is Dylan Vernick again. Will run for the catcher Schilling. It has been ruled an E5. As Jack Portman digs in. That's low. So Kalai Larson made the play before, and camera shots showed him. Nebraska, they've spent so much time together traveling to regionals, to the American Legion World Series over the last 2 years, that he is the ringleader now of the Fantasy Football League, the Lincoln, Nebraska Post 500 Fantasy Football League, of which supposedly he's actually the worst player in the Fantasy Football League, according to his head coach. But it became a way for these guys to stay in touch with those who move on and go to play college ball as well. So it started last year during a layover at an airport between flights, and they did a fantasy draft, and then this year kept the tradition alive. And we'll see how this year goes for Kalai Larson. Coach Michael Launick's kids are in it. Of course, the 3 kids that are all named after baseball players, Garrick, Griffey, and Brooks. Some of his kids are involved in the Fantasy Football League. And more than anything, what he says, it's just a way for the team to bond. They spent so much time together. This was the idea of Larson, and now it helps them when there are some folks who last year have moved on from this Legion team and no longer with them as they age out of Legion eligibility. There will be folks off of this year's team who age out of Legion eligibility and move on to their college careers, and a chance for them to stay in touch as they all move on from Lincoln, Nebraska. And remember, this is a 1 high school post, so they are very close. Grounder to first. It'll be just 1. A little bobble there by Cat, but he gets the easy out.
And talking about that, that's the one thing about American Legion baseball, Phil. I mean, the team effort, you know, always being together, getting each other's back. It's a lot different, you know, travel ball. You know, you maybe show up on a weekend and play or whatever, but here, traveling together, being together, there's a lot to be said for that.
Here's Markovich. Grounded right side foul. You know, Corey Goff, Jacksonville's coach, they were playing here last night. He told me that when he helped resurrect the program at that post, he was working at an underprivileged high school as the head coach, and he was looking for a way for kids to be able to play baseball over the summer and make baseball more of a year-round game. And part of the reason why he sought out American Legion was also because it was an option that was far more affordable and far more feasible for kids in his community than the travel option. The support that Legion at a national level and the local Post gives to provide these opportunities for these youngsters to come out and play. And that's why he is such a believer in American Legion baseball.
And they're kind of waiting around to see what happens today.
They have off today, and they are 1-2, and
could be 3-0.
Yeah, they've played some close games here, Jacksonville. Swing and a miss, strike 3. More base runners that are stranded on the bases. Or gone, but you know what else I learned last night, by the way, because we've been talking all week about how much we want this Humvee. Now, you told me on the air last night that we are not eligible.
You are.
I went and did a little research. I am eligible. You are not. Helps to know a guy. I got a guy. Top of the 4th inning here in Shelby, North Carolina, 2026 American Legion World Series with Steve Wooder, the former Legion player, the former big leaguer. I'm Phil Constantino.
Well, New Jersey has had somebody warming up for the last three innings, Phil.
Yeah. And they still have Cole Jacobus on the mound. It's been Miles Masoni. That's the only arm I've seen out there. Just throwing on and off. It's hot out there. I can't imagine it takes a whole lot to get loose.
Well, talking about yesterday, Gabe Arado, what a game he had yesterday for this New Jersey team pitching.
Fly ball, left field. Walsh didn't even have to move. Cat's retired. Easton Lunn up next. He walked first time versus Jacobus. And a strike. It's 0-1.
Crazy question for you, Phil. Did you have a chance to talk to New Hampshire after the game or anything?
No, I didn't. Late night, yeah.
Well, talking about the heat, and I was curious to see if their pitcher, if he just got hot or he was sick before the game, but he battled the first 3-4 innings, pitched a great game.
Well, off, it's 1-2. You're talking about Zach Papik from New Hampshire.
And we really don't want to show any footage of him being sick, but
no, but it was
he was sick.
It was visible. Called strike 3. Just the second strikeout for Jacobus, but as long as he's mowing him down, I don't think that bullpen arm's coming in. Right on the outside corner. Now Jackson Makovica. Grounded into a double play first time.
And I was just asking our stat man, Ryan Bridges, if we've had a 1-2-3 inning all day, and we have not. I guess I just jinxed it, by the way. But
yep. That should be extra bases. To the corner it goes. Makovica around first and into second, standing up.
Well, he's hoping to make up for that error he just made in the inning before. But 2 outs, Nebraska scoring position with the top of the order back up.
Brody McIntyre, who's reached safely twice. What a World Series he is having. A single and a hit by pitch and a run scored in this game. Fouls it off. He's doing this off of a regional in which he batted .333. Committed to Division I St. Thomas in Minnesota. Line drive center field. That's down for a base hit. Makovica around third. Throw to the plate. Not in time. RBI base hit for McIntyre, who makes it to second on the throw. Nebraska takes a 2-1 lead.
Well, McIntyre staying hot here at this World Series, but Phil, what a great job of running bases. He saw that ball go up in the air and was able to actually get himself into scoring position also. But great job at the plate for Brody McIntyre.
Kalai Larson, the batter now. Pitch inside. Clipped his jersey. Another hit by pitch. He is the third hit by a pitch in the Nebraska order today. So there's 2 on. And you wonder when Steve Farcio comes out. DeLeo Dulate now.
He had a hit in his last at bat.
Up and in. Reached safely both times. It was a walk in the first and then a single in the third for Odulate. Strike. Mentioned earlier that he moved to the program from California in 8th grade. This is a guy who was playing JV baseball as a sophomore and put in the work to improve, and by the time he was a junior had multiple Division I offers. And now he's committed to play at Nebraska Omaha. Lines one right side and through for a base hit. Second hit of the game for Odulate. Runner takes a big turn at third. McIntyre then dives back to the bag. Station to station, the bases are loaded for Nebraska.
There, I would love to see this again, but Brody McIntyre didn't realize there were 2 outs and was going back to second base. A good job by DeLeo Dulate for the way he swung the bat. Let's see here. There. And that little movement back towards second probably kept him from even trying to be able to score, Phil.
Steve Farcio comes out, and that will be it for Jacobus. 3 2/3 innings. Allowed just 2 runs on 6 hits. But he's responsible for the 3 aboard. Masoni coming in. Legion World Series on the mound for New Jersey. He inherits a bases loaded jam with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning.
Yeah, and you can see there the 2 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts against a good Mississippi team. In the regional, he was 1-0. Big kid, big good looking kid.
3rd time today that Nebraska has loaded the bases. Through the first 3 innings, they have stranded 5 runners aboard. Masoni, who is committed, actually already played a season at Scranton University, comes in a tight spot. A de facto elimination game here on the final day of pool play at the American Legion World Series.
You know, talking about base running, you know, you hate to, you know, just talk about Brody McIntyre on the bases. We've seen a lot of guys out here on the base paths over the last couple of days. You know, guys getting picked off third, guys stealing third, getting thrown out for the third out. And mistakes that come back and haunt you, especially in a one-run game.
Well, especially with 2 outs, too.
And
not scoring on the Odolate base hit.
Yeah, and you're the fastest guy on the team, possibly.
Yeah. Well, Nebraska did score a run earlier this inning. Makovica, the double, followed by the McIntyre single. McIntyre, the RBI. That's the difference in the game right now. It's a 2-1 Nebraska lead. But Nebraska 0 for 4 with the bases loaded today. And one of their best up, Braden Erickson. First pitch in the dirt, it gets away. McIntyre will score. It's 3-1.
Well, it ended up working out for him, but I don't think there was anything that he could do to block that. Owen Schilling did everything he could.
To run the responsibility of the starter Jacobus. 1-0 the count on Erickson. Two and 0. Hit by pitch in his last at bat. Reached on an error in his first. 0 for 1 today. Braden Erickson. Strike.
You know, I would have, 2-0 count there, 2-1 now. I would have put him on. Probably their best hitter.
It's 2-2. You have Trevor Roach behind him, who's 0 for 2 today.
With the bases loaded twice.
True. And the bases would be loaded again. Breaking ball, waits on it, grounds it left side. Sliding stop by Nielsen. And a nice play to end the inning and limit the damage to 2. But Nebraska takes the lead. We're halfway home. And it is 3-1 Nebraska on top of New Jersey. Up next, it's Midland, Michigan, post 165 versus Portland, Oregon, post 158. 4 p.m. scheduled start time. And then later on this evening, back to the Stripes division for Tupelo, Mississippi and Fairfield, California. Winner of this game through to the semifinals tomorrow.
Then next game, if Portland wins, they're on.
Yep.
If Portland loses, they just can't give up more than 7 runs.
Yep, and that's where the math comes into play.
Right.
If Portland is to lose that second game of the day to Midland, Michigan, you would have 3 1-2 teams in the Stars division. Right now, Midland at 2-0 is atop the division. Kellen Comline is the batter. Comline homered last night to give New Jersey a 3-2 lead in the 6th inning. It was the difference in the game. And that is what has them in a position to advance. Fouls this one off. He's a guy who actually had been struggling. And then he comes through in the most important of spots. Grounded foul again. Here's the home run, Woody. Just got all of it.
He did. The ball flies right there in that part of the field. Probably more than anywhere here on this ballpark.
Foul once more. He wasn't even an everyday player for this New Jersey team until the state tournament. Remember, Michael Novotny is one of 3 guys out due to injury. Novotny, maybe their best player, not on the trip for New Jersey. Comline was mainly a pitcher on this Legion team. And now, he is the most important reason why they're here. One swing of the bat late last night or yesterday afternoon. Look at this battle.
Hey, the ball bat hit him.
Called strike 3. All those foul balls, it was an 0-2 count.
Yeah.
And he's rung up.
He did not like that one bit.
5 strikeouts now for Fisher Irons.
Pretty good pitch. Right
That's
on
a
the
strike.
corner. That's a good pitch.
Good call by Jim Clayton, the home plate umpire. The ump's in the camo again today. Strike called on Carter Nielsen. Reached on an error in his first at bat. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Remember when White House, New Jersey had the first 3 reach in the first inning, only scored 1 run?
That's all they've scored.
Fisher Irons. Oh, doesn't get the strike call there. Thought he had it. He has settled into this game. Walking with a different pep in his step now, as the breaking ball is fouled off.
A little pep in his step. What if he had Craven Java?
That's your new favorite coffee shop, huh?
They took care of us. And you see there 27 balls.
Called strike 3. Paints the outside corner.
He settled in, like you said.
That is his 6th strikeout, his 3rd looking, and that fastball on the outside corner to righties. He's just drilling it.
Yeah. Way to the lefty, the bat before, and that one away to a righty.
Breaking ball in for a strike. He seems to be working a little more quickly, too.
Yeah, he's getting a little rhythm.
Went right back to that outside corner fastball.
You know, that's the one thing. When everything's going good, you work fast. And when, you start getting runners on and everything's going haywire, you want to try to slow down a little bit because the hitters want to get in the box and hit.
2-1 the count on Chris Kozak. Breaking ball outside corner. He really likes pounding the outside corner, but especially on these righties. One, two, three. Iron strikes out the side. His 7th strikeout of the game. And Michigan, well, they're moving on. It's just a matter of what seed they will be.
Right.
And the top 2 from each will move to the semifinals tomorrow. It starts 4 p.m. on ESPNU. Stripes winner versus the Stars runner-up, then the Stars winner versus the Stripes runner-up. That's how it works. 15 total games here at the Legion World Series. 2 4-team pods from the 8 region winners across the country.
And you got to look at
drive to left field, and it's run down in the gap by Aiden Walsh. Trevor Roach retired.
The Oregon lineup's going to be a lot different today. Hemsley, their shortstop, starting shortstop all year, got hurt, and he flew back home. So probably going to see Ryan Folio, the catcher, actually moving to shortstop today.
Cade Anderson 0 for 2 in this game. His first at-bat versus Masoni, the reliever who came on with the bases loaded, 2 outs, induced a ground ball and limited the damage any further. It's Nebraska 3, New Jersey 1. On the swing, 0-2.
Wouldn't surprise me he throws that breaking ball again right here.
Did he go? Yes, on appeal. It bounces away, and the runner doesn't take off. Throw to first, he's out.
Yeah, went around.
And now Huxton Cat, who is 0 for 2. Schilling thought Masoni had strike 1. 1-0 the count. 1-1. All the base runners, by the way, that last half inning, the bottom of the 4th, that was the first 1-2-3 inning of the game.
Tell you what, Masoni, he looks good.
He's looking for his own.
You can tell he's you can tell he's a little older coming back. You know, he's already played 1 year of college baseball, and he's pounding the zone.
Two and two. Ground ball and through. Base hit. Well, Woody, this time I jinxed him.
I was waiting on that.
It's not always your fault. Only like 99.9% of the time. Sometimes it's my fault.
Well, the other night we were talking about, you know whether we're going to say no hitter, how we were going to do it. 0 for 17 when it came up, and that was in the Midland, Michigan game we were talking about, and they didn't have any hits up until that point, and ended up dropping down a sacrifice bunt that ended up becoming a hit. The only hit they got that game.
And isn't it amazing, because in any other scenario besides a late game postseason situation, a bunt becoming the first hit would have led to a lot of drama.
Yes, it would have.
But in that case, it was the right play that fit the moment, and it was the only hit in the game. And Michigan won the game despite being one hit. First team to ever do that at the World Series. Runner is off. Fly ball down the right field line. Long run for Portman, and he makes the play. So 4 come to the plate in the top of the 5th inning. No runs on hit, no errors, and 1 left. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Nebraska, a 2-run lead.
Talk about American Legion Baseball and what it did for them. I played American Legion Baseball. Post 52, Hartselle, Alabama.
Now, what has Dusty Baker not done in his life? His baseball career is great. You learned the other day, and we spoke about it, that he invented the high five.
Did not know that.
And I was listening to an interview with him actually yesterday. He's now a published author. What has that guy not done?
He could be, but he's had a lot of stories. But you always hear he was a player's manager. Everybody that plays for him loves him.
You know what I loved about one of the stories he told as well about the World Series in what year would that? That would have been 2022 when the Astros won. He knew that was likely going to be his last chance to finally win a World Series as a manager. And a lot has been made about analytics, especially in that organization, and whether or not the front office is giving all of the direction, even during the course of the game, down to the manager in the dugout. And he basically said, number one, I was using analytics long before we called it analytics back when I was playing. Number two, I was going to trust myself and my gut as the manager. And I was going to make my own decisions, and oftentimes make decisions based on feel, even if the numbers were flying at me in different directions. He trusted his gut, and in his 70s, his last chance, he won a World Series as a manager.
That's wonderful. Good for him.
Hot shot to third. Makovica has this one.
Well, he had one earlier in the game, but this ball was actually hit a lot harder. Tougher play, but good play there.
Eddie D'Alfonso retired. Top of the order now up. Reed Bazidlo. 7-inning game, elimination game on the final day of pool play. That's how it's worked out. And so New Jersey needs at least 2 runs here in the final innings to extend it. Ground ball to short. Larson. 2 gone.
I feel let's talk about it a little bit. That's pitch 87. Next pitch 88. You can go 105. So let's see if that's going to come into play. He's got to get, what, 7 more outs here?
Well, a quick inning will do him wonders.
Yes. But 7 more outs, you know, if the score stays the same.
Last inning, we spoke about him settling into the game. Of the last 10 batters, the only to reach was on an E5. And remember, this game started for him in the bottom of the first inning. Single, walk, bases loaded, nobody out. And still, the only run that scored was the leadoff man of the whole game, Bazidlo. He was the first batter for New Jersey in the bottom of the first inning, and he scored on a wild pitch. 7 in a row retired. And the count is 2-2 on Aiden Walsh.
But we've seen crazier things happen here. You get late in the game, and all of a sudden, your starting pitcher gets up and creeps up, and he's got to get 2 more outs and has to be taken out of the game, and teams end up getting beat.
Flare foul. Base hit. Aiden Walsh with 2 outs ends the drought.
And I don't see anybody warming up at all in the bullpen for Nebraska.
And don't let this get lost either.
And he's asking how many pitches. Wants to double check.
That was just the second hit of the game. So the first batter had a hit. And then White House, New Jersey, a few walks in there, reached on an error a couple of times. And that now here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning, it's just the second hit of the game for New Jersey. This stoppage.
Well, Michael Lonix wanted to know how many pitches. I think we're going to have a, I don't know if we're going to have a pinch hitter or a courtesy runner.
Well, it looked like Steve Farcio, New Jersey head coach who mans the third base coach's box, called that timeout to pull his batter and base runner in. That's what it looked like. And then Lanik, who never went out to the mound, signaled up top for the announcement of the pitch count. It's confirmed 93 pitches. As the hitting struggles for White House, New Jersey continue, they have to try and find a way.
And 9 for 61. A 147 clip.
Owen Schilling, a walk and reached on an error today. In total, he's 0 for 1. That's a ball. A little flinch on the mound. You can see it from up here. And the runner into scoring position.
Yeah, see his upper body lean a little bit.
Every once in a while you see a balk by a pitcher that really requires replay to see. I think that one was pretty obvious to everyone on the field. 2 umpires called it simultaneously. 0-2 now, the count on Schilling. Ground ball through the middle. That's a base hit. Runner waved around third. The throw to the plate by Odulate. Not in time. Walsh scores. It's a 3-2 game.
Well, the balk, he was hoping it wouldn't hurt him, but the balk ended up getting the guy to second base. And then on the base hit up the middle, Odulate had a chance to get him out, but he bobbled this ball, Phil, right there. Just that little bobble may have cost him getting him at home right there.
So now the tying run on the base paths. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's a guy who was hustling. He's out of breath in the dugout on this hot day. Jack Portman, the batter. Breaking ball up high. Portman 0 for 2 versus Fisher Irons today.
Next pitch be pitch number 98.
You can start the at-bat at 105 and cross over 105. But you cannot go beyond that.
But they've not warmed up anybody, have they?
I haven't seen anybody go down to the bullpen,
yeah.
no.
So it's going to be somebody off the field coming in to pitch.
Up and away, 3-0. They could come into a jam as well.
And I'm betting we maybe see, Kyle Larson come in right here, possibly.
He was the first name given on the list of available relievers that Michael Leineck would likely turn to. Line drive to Larson. He has it.
That was a 3-0 count, wasn't it?
It was. Swinging away on 3-0 in a 1-run game late. Pitch number 100. 3-2 game, top of the 6th inning. Nebraska has the lead on New Jersey. We welcome you back to Keeter Stadium in Shelby, North Carolina. Fisher Irons, after a rocky first inning, has settled in nicely for Nebraska. He's completed 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, tying for a tournament high at this edition of the World Series. And pitch number 100 was a 3-0 pitch with a runner on first, line to shortstop.
Yeah, that Jack Portman swung on it. We were just talking. Pitch 100, he's laboring, and man, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the 3-0 swing, especially at that point right there. Man.
3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, 2 runs on 3 hits, and 1 error for New Jersey. Winner of this game through to the semis. Loser is eliminated from this American Legion World Series.
Not sure what this is.
There's a conversation. Home plate umpire Jim Clayton and the 2 head coaches. They want to confirm pitch count on the Nebraska side. 100 pitches has been confirmed. Well, you don't usually see that in the game of baseball when two managers go speak to the umpire at the same time. Results in just a request for confirmation on the pitch count number. Jackson Makovica leads off, and the pitch is low. Bats in the 9-hole, doubled last time for Lincoln, Nebraska.
You know, the only thing I could think of is if he was trying to see, he didn't throw a pitch on the ball. Right, you see what I'm getting at? Maybe he had a different pitch count or whatever.
Okay.
So it's no pitch, you know.
Fly ball down the right field line, and it is out of play. As Jack Portman goes sliding into the fence, appears okay. These are the pitch count rules for how to manage the arms of these youngsters.
0 to 30, no days rest, but we're looking at that 81 plus, which he's done for the tournament, but max of 105. But you can start a hitter at 105 and go over that.
So if you go, let's see where we are at the tournament. There's 2 days of the tournament left. So if you go over 45 pitches, you're out for the rest of this tournament.
If you go over 45, you're out. Yeah.
Even if you reach the championship game.
Even if you reach the championship game.
And all of the coaches are aware. They're provided confirmation of the pitch counts for every pitcher on every team and who is available, who isn't.
And show
every day.
And show them when they can come back and when they.
So they know who they have available, and they know who, from scouting purposes, who would be available for the opponent.
Right. And that's given every day, you know, at the coaches' meeting, which is done early in the morning.
100th most thrown by anyone in this World Series. We were remarking yesterday how we've seen more, I think, managing of starters, maybe to not just manage pitch counts on youngsters going off to play college ball, but also to try and save arms for later in the World Series if you can get there. Mr. Irons just going the distance today. Caught by Kozak, one gone.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. My senior year of high school, I threw 99 innings my senior year of high school.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the most pitches you ever threw in a game? Do you have any idea?
No tell. Probably 130, 135, 140, something like that, maybe. I mean, I was never, you know.
Did anyone even keep it in the dugout?
No.
A few years ago, you know this, a few years ago I was working with former Cy Young Award winner Blackjack McDowell at a nearby college. He was the head coach.
Yeah.
And I was blown away that in 2018, 2019, he came from your ilk, pitching in the big leagues in the 90s, and he refused to keep pitch counts.
Yeah.
He didn't have a clicker in the dugout.
There's a lot of people that believe that.
Base hit up the middle by McIntyre. He continues to hit. That's his third of the game. But the science has changed. The technology has changed. And I think a lot of folks feel those rules are in place for the right reason.
Yes.
In fact, New Hampshire's head coach, Henry DuBois, I asked about this before yesterday's game because he is a physical therapist. And he said that based on what he has seen, the argument, you can make the argument whichever way, but he really likes the pitch count rules for the most part. He thinks it does more good.
I mean, but everybody knows I could throw 1,000 pitches a day. My arm is never bothered. It's all the other parts of my body that bothers me. So genetics come into play a lot too. I mean, you know, so everybody's
mechanics, I think, come into play too.
Mechanics come into play, but everybody's arm's different. Like I said, I could throw all day long, every day, and never had an arm issue.
And McIntyre is picked off at first. Two gone.
Man, that is a crucial. Do not want to get picked off right there.
Yeah, he's had a rough day on the bases. Just caught leaning.
Yeah.
Line drive left field. And a base hit by Kalai Larson. So it's a runner at first with 2 outs. And Delay Odulate up to the plate in a 1-run game. Odulate off the schneid. He's reached safely all 3 times. A walk and a pair of hits.
And he would have somebody in scoring position right here. Should be first and second with one out.
Inside.
With your two fastest guys on base.
True.
With the exception of Odulate.
It's 1-1. Oh, Michael Lanik, to the theme we have talked about, said he kept hammering home to his team. We need to play clean baseball. The margins are thin. Cleanest team wins usually.
Yes, it does. I mean, we talked about it every day. Taking care of the ball. Teams that can bunt. Teams that are situational teams are the ones that win this World Series most.
And Lanik even took it a step further. He said it's the little things off the field. Used an example like, hey guys, we need to get to bed and get 9 hours of sleep every night. Make sure we're rested.
Being professional.
In the dirt, that gets away. Up to second goes Larson on the wild pitch. You want to do the fun things. You want to enjoy the moment. Pre-game meal yesterday, I ran into them before their 4 o'clock game yesterday. Pre-game meal was at famed Red Bridges Barbecue right down the road in town.
Did you buy the team dinner?
Woody, I didn't play in the big leagues like you, okay?
No, but they all go. But these restaurants going out, they take care of them pretty well. And we talked about that throughout this, talking about Shelby. There's like over 900 meals donated to all these guys.
Well, after they finished their meal, they all went out and took a team photo in front of the sign at Red Bridges. There's ball 4. Bases would have been loaded. Now it's 2 on, 2 outs. Still a chance for Nebraska to add insurance runs with Braden Erickson, the cleanup hitter, up.
Looks like he's making a change on something.
Who's coming in? Let's see.
Possibly number 1 or 2.
Matty Delfonso was the DH. He's walking out to the mound with a glove. It looks to be moving into a position in the field. Yeah, we will have a pitching change. Masoni comes off, and one of the position players will come on and pitch. We'll tell you more about it when we come back. 1-run game, an elimination game here at the American Legion World Series in Shelby, North Carolina. Over New Jersey, 2 on for Lincoln, Nebraska. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. And a pitching change. Miles Masoni out. Chris Kozak is in.
Yeah, Chris Kozak, he'll start or close during the season, 3-0. At the regional, he threw 5 innings at the regional, gave up 8 hits, struck out 6, fastball mid-80s. And he's had a busy week. Went down to Clemson on Friday, I think, and moved into a dorm. And
yep. Now he's back playing a couple hours up the road in the American Legion World Series.
He's trying to keep this a 3-2 game, Phil. And coming in with 2 outs, and you look at Nebraska, this could have been bases loaded, 1 out. And they'd have a chance to break this open right here, but a couple of mental mistakes.
So New Jersey's going to lose the DH with all of these changes, and there are a slew of corresponding position changes as well. Kellen Comline moves from first base to center field. Carter Nielsen from third base to first base. And Matty D'Alfonso is now playing third base from the DH spot. Got all that?
I got every bit of it.
Good. You should. And Masoni did a decent job in relief. He only allowed inherited runners to score and kept the damage right there.
No, he did a great job. Coming in, he had I think the first batter he faced, the first pitch, he kind of spiked it in the dirt, and the runner was able to score from third. But other than that, done well.
1-1 the count to Erickson. Ground ball, left side, and through for a base hit. Larson waved around third. The throw cut off. He scores. Odulate is tagged out, but the run does score first. 4-2, Nebraska leads after the RBI single by Braden Erickson. I'm in Shelby, North Carolina, and some sad news in the baseball world to relay. Tommy John, baseball legend, the namesake of the famed surgery that has helped preserve the careers of so many, has died at the age of 83.
Great career.
His health had been declining. He had recently given a statement, a public goodbye, about a week or so ago, that was aired on the Yes Network as part of Yankees Old Timers Day coverage. And Tommy has since passed. Long time in the game of baseball, though. Stayed around broadcasting at different levels. And obviously his surgery is huge in the game today. Very important to the game today.
His name will be remembered forever.
Jack Markovich, the batter. He has a 2-0 count. This is likely the last hitter for pitcher Fisher Irons, who has tossed a gem today for Nebraska and survived through a rocky first inning to do it. He has 2 more pitches to work with before he's capped out. There's a strike. So this will be his last batter no matter what. And it's ball 4. And he knows it. That was pitch number 105. He knows he has to leave the game. He's looking to the dugout, and here comes Michael Lonick. Big applause from the Nebraska fans. Everyone on his team off the top step of the dugout to greet him. That's a great outing in a pressure spot by Fisher Irons. 3 hits, 2 earned runs at the moment. He is responsible for a base runner, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. That ties a tournament high in a single game by a pitcher at this edition of the American Legion World Series. And on comes Kalai Larson, the shortstop, who head coach Michael Lonick calls might actually be their best pitcher.
Yeah, he's one of their best. Threw a 3-hit shutout in the final game of the regional. He's already committed to UNO. Fastball upper 80s, touch 92, and he'll throw 4 different pitches.
All right, you ready for these corresponding position changes? Trevor Roach from right field to third base. Cade Anderson will play first base from the DH spot. Huxton Cat, moves to right field from first, and Makovica slides from third to short.
There's a lot of them.
Oh, that's the beauty of this level, isn't it?
It's pure baseball.
Agreed. I gotta try and write those. Okay, do you think I even remember that? What I just read? So Makovica, short. I'm going to write this in on my scorecard. Go ahead, Woody. You call the game.
Roach goes to third. Anderson to first.
And they would lose the DH in this scenario.
Yes. But nobody out. Larson comes in, runner on first. And Comline would love to have that hit he had yesterday.
Home run yesterday. He's got a 1-1 count here. 0 for 2 today. Close play at first. They don't get him. That was a quick leap and a spin by Larson.
Yeah, he was leaning right here. There's him lean.
Very close.
Very close.
Two and one on Comline. Six more outs defensively to get for Nebraska with a 2-run lead and clinch a spot in the semis tomorrow. Fouled off. It's 2-2. It's called for a balk.
Yeah. And to me, when you do the jump, because you're not gaining ground, what's the jump?
I think he separated or started to move the hands before the jump. That's what I see. Now, keep in mind, that was his third toss over, but you're allowed to throw over as many times as you want at this level. This is not the big league rule. That's the second balk by Nebraska pitching today.
Let's look at this one more time.
I just think he separated the hands a little early.
Oh, they're already separated, ain't they? Well, they're there. Okay, together. I think he's telling me spun, jump.
Well, you're allowed to as long as you throw it. That's what he did on the first pickoff where he nearly got him.
Well, both feet leaving the ground at the same time. Different umpires look at it different ways. You know, the jump a lot of times is considered you're deceiving the runner because they're watching your feet.
So you think that if you do jump, you got to make sure you
gotta
clearly lift that left leg first.
Well, if that's to go home, you lift the left leg first, you're going home.
Well, you got to lift the right leg first. Okay. That's,
the right heel has to come off the ground to be able to go to first.
Oh, it's a walk. Anyway.
Well, New Jersey's not been in this position in a while because of the way that our man was pitching earlier.
Tying run on base now.
Yeah. Now they're going to do, we'll see all kinds of different stuff now. He's not had an opportunity to do anything.
Nobody out. Carter Nielsen 0 for 2. He shows bunt, pulls back. It's a strike. High 80s with his fastball, Larson. Roach at third, in on the grass. Foul ball.
That was a tough one. That was up and in. That's where you want to try to go. It's hard to get that ball down. Anything up, you should just pull your barrel back.
Well, knowing New Jersey, anything is possible. See if they keep the bunt on with an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike three. Larson overmatches Nielsen there, and there's one out.
That was a pretty nasty breaking ball slider down and away.
Pitcher Chris Kozak.
Kozak shows bunt, pulls back. Started the game in center field. Now he's pitching. And he's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Twice he was a victim of Fisher irons.
Let's watch right here. Roach is playing back at third.
One and one.
First baseman's playing back also. They don't think they're going to bunt. Or they're depending on Larson because he's such a good athlete to be able to cover everything.
Brief meeting with Larson and Erickson on the mound.
You can see their first baseman's playing deep. Third baseman's back past the bag. So Larson better be able to get everything.
Didn't that step off there look a little?
Well, that was inside move.
Jerky?
You can do that. Yeah, I used to do that all the time. Pick your leg up, kind of fall back. Now in college, you can only, you can only do that one time without throwing it.
Strike two. I'm saying I thought maybe his upper body moved first. I thought he was flirting with it again. He was called for the balk earlier this inning. So ball and 2 strikes now on Kozak. Long look at the runner at second. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks. Breaking ball away once again, and there's 2 outs.
Well, tried to get a bunt down twice, and got ahead in the count, and then another breaking ball off the plate that you can't reach. And it's a big swing and miss.
Tying run at first. Potential go-ahead run at the plate. 3 batters faced for Kalai Larson since moving from shortstop to pitcher, a walk and 2 strikeouts. And now the batter, Matty D'Alfonso, started the game as the DH. And he currently plays at third.
They would love to get him back on and get back to the top of the order.
New Jersey now just 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position in this game. Showing bunt with 2 outs, and it's a strike, 0-1. Runners are off. Swing and a miss. The throw. He's out. Markovich gunned down at third by Erickson. That ends the inning. Nebraska a 4-2 lead. It's the last chance for insurance. Top of the 7th inning of a 7-inning game with Steve Woodard. I'm Phil Constantino. Glad to have you with us. First of 3 in our triple header today, and this the only one that is a playoff game essentially. Win, you're into the semis. Lose, and you're out.
It's been an interesting game.
Yeah.
A lot of guys on base, all over the bases actually, and then some bad base running by both teams.
But you know what's funny? Some of the base running, yes, it is inexcusable, but in the situation there to end the bottom of the 6th, you just said to me during the break, you don't hate the decision by Steve Farcio to attempt a double steal and try and make something happen with 2 outs.
Yeah, it didn't look like, it didn't look like it was going to be tough to hit Larson there in that situation. He was trying to make something happen, and
you had the 2 on with no outs. Yeah.
So not that bad of a decision, and the base running can run you out of some innings.
I don't want to sound like a broken record. The little things.
Always.
Playing clean.
Always. Take care of the ball. And don't do dumb things.
Trevor Roach, first pitch swinging, chopped to short. Bizidlo, 1 gone. Next will be Cade Anderson, who's 0 for 3. And Huxton Cat, who is 1 for 3. Kozak trying to keep it right here for New Jersey and give themselves a chance at the bottom of the 7th inning.
Just a bit outside.
As your pal, Bob Uecker once said.
Yeah. Radio guy for the Brewers for ever.
Your former broadcast partner.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that.
I've done a game with him.
You were his partner.
I've done a game with him once, yes.
That was it?
Sat in the booth. Yeah, I've sat in the booth with him once. Yeah, it was awesome.
Fly ball center field. Comline makes the catch.
He was the best. So we'd have the game on in the clubhouse on TV, and you'd have the radio broadcast on, listening to it in the clubhouse.
That's awesome.
And he'd tell the same story every day, and you'd listen like you'd never heard it before.
I want you to think about how far you've fallen in life. You went from Bob Uecker to sitting next to me.
No, but Uecker was great. He was there. Worked for the Brewers forever. Him and Mr. Seelig were good friends, and he had a job there forever.
Want to know the count on Cat. Lines it foul. Bottom 7 for White House, New Jersey. It'll be 9-1-2. D'Alfonso, Bizidlo, Aiden Walsh. They need 2 to extend it. In the air. Down the foul line. And a nice running catch by Markovich, the second baseman. So a 1-2-3 inning by Chris Kozak. He does his job. And the last chance coming for New Jersey to extend their trip here in Shelby. 4-2, Nebraska has the lead. Semifinal action starts tomorrow, 4 p.m. on ESPNU. Kalai Larson came on last inning, struck out 2 of the 3 batters he faced.
Threw 15 pitches, 10 of them strikes. A lot of them were bunts. There were foul balls or not getting it down.
Prevented the runners from scoring. New Jersey had the tying run at first base. And it'll be 9-1-2 in the order this inning. D'Alfonso, Basidlo, Walsh. If it gets to it, Schilling. He singled last time. Pressure-packed moments. Competing for a national championship. D'Alfonso digs in his first at-bat versus Larson. 0 for 1 with a walk in this game. Fastball over for a strike. Here's the 0-1. It's 0-2. A Nebraska team that is in the American Legion World Series for the second year in a row. Post 500. Led by head coach Michael Lonick. Called strike 3. Got him on 3 pitches. 3 strikeouts in a row for Larson. 1 gone.
Larson's come into the game doing his job, throwing strikes. 2 more big outs for him to get.
Last year, Woody, Nebraska lost this game. They lost their last game of pool play. They didn't make it to the semifinals. So many players back from last year's team. This is the next step, the natural progression. 1-0 to Basidlo. Fouls it off. It's 1-1. One and two. Mentioned earlier, it's a 1 high school post. They all play at Lincoln East High School, where Michael Lonick, the head coach, is a teacher. There's a called strike 3 again. That's 4 straight punch outs for Larson in relief. And New Jersey is down to its final out.
Pretty good pitch.
So, Woody, there's been many hours of building to this point. Lonick is a health and PE teacher, specifically weight training at the school. He also coaches the baseball team. So a lot of hours with all of these guys who also play for him in high school. Aiden Walsh, the batter. Single and a walk today. He's 1 for 2. Ground ball right side. McIntyre to first. Nebraska wins it. Final score 4-2. Lincoln, Nebraska, post 500. On to the American Legion World Series semifinals.
Wow, what a game. Well, first off, let's say congratulations to New Jersey for getting here. Steve Farcio, great job. Great man. Fun to talk to about baseball. And we'll see them back, I hope. Nebraska's on. Fisher Irons today. Great job pitching to get them, to put them in the position to win. And then Nebraska just getting enough runs and doing some of the little things, but they made a lot of mistakes they're going to have to clean up as they go forward.
Fisher Irons, the winning pitcher, 105 pitches, 5+ innings, 2 runs, 7 Ks. Best starting pitching performance of this World Series so far. And Nebraska, a 4-2 win over New Jersey.